Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages over the age of 18, no one's in attendance and millions hopefully will watch around the world at some point. Welcome back to one of the greatest shows on earth, according to me. This was posted Friday, March 15th, which was yesterday, in reference to Battlefield Season 7 Turning Point streaming event. This part is. But Season 7 is coming. It will be, if it's actually already early access for a few streamers, not me. I have had early access before for other games, but not me. For everybody else, it'll be March 19th, 3 days from now, and I'll give you those times as we scroll down. I don't remember exactly what time they are, but I'll tell you. Watch your favorite with an O-U-R-I-T-E. Streamers play Season 7 in the streaming event. Squid G is one that I know and like. I don't know about the Coco Burra, this girl. I don't know about Annie Munition and Barbara Lahio. I don't even know who that is. Stylers, I may have seen, I don't know. And then this other one is, I don't even know how to say that. The female in the bottom right with the knit cap on. I don't know how to say her name. Sorry. I'm sure she's wonderful. Pre-show, March 18th, 11 a.m. Pacific time. Was that PDT? 7 p.m. CET. And streaming, 12 a.m. PDT and 8 p.m. CET on Twitch, it looks like. By the way, Battlefield 2042 is on sale for the lowest price I've ever seen it. If you can't get it for free, which I doubt, get it for $8.99 plus tax. All right, here we go. Major update. 7.0. Brings the battle for Earth's most valuable resource, Chile, the Thousand Petals Coalition. Ooh. Eastern forces launch an assault on the desert mining town of El Encanto to seize control of a massive subterranean water reservoir vital to Western and U.S. forces. So they're after water, kids. Kids, we're after water. All right. They want to see all the clips and reactions to Haven when Season 7 arrives. Now, I saw Jack Frags, I think, last night doing some early access on one of the maps. There's supposed to be two. All right, what's new? Haven. Been inspired by great favorites that's spelled with a O-R-I-T-S. Erica Harbor from Bad Company 2, Strike at Karkand, Battlefield 2, and Amiens, Battlefield 1. If you'd like to learn more about the new map, check out the Haven blog. Stadium will be arriving later in Season 7. It's been asked for, highly requested, reworked and adapted for intense infantry-only CQB. Stay tuned. All right, we got some new weapons. AK-5C, SCZ-3, and DFR Strife LMG. Excellent balance of firepower and accuracy, making it a perfect partner for close quarters combat on the AK-5C. The SCZ-3 is a deadly submachine gun. I wonder if it's the Scorpion. It's for CQB. And it looks like you'll be able to get a drum magazine. The DFR Strife LMG, best of both worlds. Belt-fed ammo while retaining the mobility of an assault rifle. Could be very exciting. It'll be later, they said. The new gadget, the Predator S Raw, The anti-vehicle launcher's wire-guided missile will help you disable and eliminate both land and air vehicles. I suspect it's going to be quite similar to Lysa's rocket. Probably not going to be infinitely renewable. As long as you stay alive, you'll probably have to be resupplied. The new vehicle, the XFAD-4 Drugger, remote-controlled aerial bomber featuring advanced precision-guided ordnance, EMP bombs, and air-to-ground weaponry. And that will be later as well. A new battle pass, which I usually don't care about the battle pass. If you want to pay to win, you can. Pay for skins, you can. I don't. Quality of life improvements, recoil improvements for all weapons, providing more visual impact and immersion when aiming down sights. Headshot multiplier rebalancing for all weapon archetypes such as SMGs, LMGs, and assault rifles. Infantry and vehicle rebalancing for vehicles such as the Wildcat, and providing further class identity to engineers. That should be interesting to see. I like to use engineers almost exclusively when I'm in aircraft or ground craft. Body armor improvements, sidearm rebalancing, Casper drone alterations, and more. That'll be interesting to see what Casper's drone has. If you want to watch the trailer, go ahead. I watched it. I wasn't overly impressed. It just seems like another movified, if that's a word, trailer. And I said it's very similar to Call of Duty. You can play 7.0 on Tuesday, March 9th. Between 9 and 10 UTC, and the Battle Pass progression starts at 12 UTC the same day. I don't know what Universal Time, I don't know what that is. 24/7 playlist for Heaven will immediately be available on Conquest and Breakthrough. I like that, so you can practice. Stay informed, follow on Reddit and at Battlefield to stay informed, and at Battlefield.com for the rollout of updates and other live service changes. And you can check out the Inside Battlefield podcast if you'd like to listen to the team talking about the new content. Areas of focus, state of weapons for Season 7. Changes and improvements, the whole arsenal, shift in meta balance between weapon categories, and raising the lowest time to kill to a healthier level, to a revamp of the visual recoil system to liven up the shooting experience alongside many more balanced improvements. I noticed that on the rifle I was using yesterday, the BSV-M, there was a tremendous difference in the rate of fire between some ammo types. So you can check that out if you want to watch one of my videos on that. Just look for the BSV-M in the title. We wanted the weapons to feel more unique and powerful when it comes to firing them. As such, we have made changes to how visual recoil is handled within the game and tuned them to the vision for each weapon to create a more vivid firing experience. Will not compromise your aiming experience, as our main goal is always to provide you with fluid, reliable, and high-quality gunplay. They push the system to make the most of it, polish wherever necessary to give you the best possible experience. We've heard that. Here's a graph of the headshot multiplier rebalancing, if you are so inclined to check that out. Optimal time to kill, headshots included. With the above red line, the RM68 is using high-power ammo with the old 2.15 headshot multiplier. The difference in optimal TTK at close range is shown here versus the same RM68 build, now showing the updated multipliers in blue and the PP29 in yellow. SMGs, the weapon category will now benefit from a 1.55 headshot multiplier. They are now stronger in CQB, or CQC, I guess they call it. And higher multiplier improvements. Optimal efficiency will stand toe-to-toe against ARs when it comes to fewer firepower under 30 to 50 meters with the same potential 3 headshot kill range. The PP-29 has received less improvements. I think it's fewer, but since it was already a high performer, belongs to a different archetype than most other SMGs. The weapon will still benefit from the headshot multiplier changes. On the other hand, Vault SMGs have also received extra improvements to their bullet velocity. Even with the increased headshot multiplier, SMG should not outperform other weapon categories at longer ranges, which I have said that, due to damage drop-off, bullet velocity, and accuracy. It can be done, but it's just going to take more shots. Like when I set up the AR, the M5A3, is it, as a sniper. 1.9 headshot multiplier for ARs. This means they will no longer have a 2 headshot kill range in CQC and require 3, which we anticipate is going to be less likely to take place within a single full auto burst due to the nature of recoil and dispersion. I have noticed that as well. This will change the lowest possible TTK and CQC area, which was previously too low, leading to frustration by our players, as well as putting too much balance in favor of assault rifles. However, in most cases, it will not affect their performance at mid or long range, where the archetype of assault rifles naturally sit. LMGs, they will now benefit from a 1.9 headshot multiplier. I did say this. I thought that unless you just sit there and hammer an enemy with an LMG, I didn't feel like they were getting the kills or the power, if you will, transferred over to the enemy. An LMG is a bad motherfucker, and it should really be able to shoot not only enemies, but also vehicles on the ground and aircraft a lot better than what it is currently. And that's, I'm sure I'm not the only one that was frustrated by that. This now removes the 2 headshot kill scenario across the roster and addresses instances of extremely low TTK. This will drive LMGs away from CQC and more into the mid and long range, but will remain at a similar power level when compared to assault rifles. Dispersion has been slightly reduced for the following weapons: M20B, which I like, the M60E4, and the Type 88, which I have not used very much. There are more changes taking place, which you can find out by scrolling down, which we'll look at that specific weapons shortly. Before we hand things over to the vehicles team to share what they've been changing for Season 7, we want to thank you for your continued feedback in regards to weapons. So here we go. State of vehicles. We are making changes to how infantry and vehicles interact with each other. Ground vehicles currently face too many threats, both from infantry and other vehicles. That's true. Due to this, it automatically encourages defensive gameplay, which takes place from a longer distance. That is also true. It has been our aim to encourage and empower vehicles so they feel able to engage with objectives and be alongside their fellow infantry teammates. As such, this update, we are aiming to lessen the amount of threats towards ground vehicles in order to give them breathing room, while also ensuring that infantry are capable of engaging too. So, for example, you see a tank accompanying a squad. The squad, I saw it on single player a lot, on Kaleidoscope, where they're trying to take A1 or A2, and a lot of times I would be trying to shoot infantry, and the tanks would get in front of them, and I can't damage the tanks, and gives it time for the guys behind them on the same team to heal up or hide or whatever. And I think that that is good to an extent. However, depending on what the vehicle is, a light-skinned, smaller vehicle, I think you should still be able to shoot it up. A big tank, a heavily armored tank, small arms fire, it would have to get extremely lucky to do any damage to the tank. All right. Wildcat and our air vehicles is not where we want it. It can often result in very lopsided games for either side, so they're lowering the range of the main default cannon, which will create a window of opportunity. Now, the rockets, in my opinion, that you can shoot from a Wildcat or from a Ram, they still should be able to take down air vehicles. There shouldn't be any changes to that unless somehow it makes it better for the Wildcat. My experience has been on the cannons, unless you're up close on the enemy with the cannons, and I'm using dual 35 AA, which is the best anti-aircraft cannon or gun, whatever you want to call it, that I've attained anyway, with a Wildcat. You can't hit them. I mean, or unless you really lead them out there at a distance. Those rounds, if you led the enemy properly, you should be able to hit them. And there's just a certain range where I think that the game doesn't recognize the pixels of the bullets flying and impact with the aircraft to give you that. I don't like it. We're removing the lock-on that exists on the y-axis, as well as removing the 40mm cannon on the Wildcat in order to fully commit this vehicle towards ground to air duty. Okay, whatever. First-person sensitivity on ground turret vehicles. We had aggressive sensitivity constraints on our aiming systems on ground vehicles in order to make sure players could not necessarily turn the turret at very high, which I thought it should be able to go up higher. And what I ended up doing was getting on a bank, and not one that holds money, like a piece of ground that has an angle. And I would aim the cannon up so that I could hit targets at a higher angle. So we're changing that. Oh, hold on, I missed something. At a very high speed, and there was always a catch-up phase for the turret to match your input unless the player was zooming in with these vehicles' primary cannons. Okay, well, I did do that. I zoomed in a lot. We're changing. You'll have a similar experience to zooming when driving around unzoomed. The sensitivity rate can be changed within the options menu. There will still be a threshold to prevent extreme cases of sensitivity. We've increased the turret speed on all ground turreted vehicles to complement this change, except the Tor. I think I had that set where I wanted it before, so we'll have to play with it. Many more changes taking place on ground around vehicle play within our change log below. They are aimed at reshaping how infantry and vehicles interact with each other. They are not aimed at giving one side an advantage over the other, but balancing so they can coexist. If you want to counter one or the other, you can do so successfully. As part of the necessary balance changes, we provide further emphasis on the engineer class as being the main anti-vehicle role. I like that. Upcoming update will increase the RPG, recoilless, and all their air equivalents by 1. I like that. And I'll tell you why. I even mentioned it in a video recently. You got 3 anti-aircraft rockets, missiles, whatever, on Boris. You have 3 anti-tank as well, but anti-aircraft specifically, well, the first one you shoot, they shoot flares, unless they've just run out. So then you shoot the second one, you may or may not get them with the second one, and the third one is probably the only one that's almost a guaranteed hit. So you've just burnt 2 of your 3 missiles. What's the point of that? As well as in a later update, revisiting the system repair balance and Irish APS changes. Crawford's trait will also benefit from these changes. Will says feedback. Thank you for your feedback. Blah, blah, blah. Change log. Players will now get squad wipe XP after successfully killing the last remaining member of an enemy squad. Well, when I play by myself, that'll probably be bad. I'll get wiped a lot. Maps and modes. Spearhead. Fixed an issue causing the zipline next to the D1 objective to be invisible. I don't remember that, but I'd have to look at it. Fixed an issue causing players to be able to go under the map. No more digging too deep. You never know what waits down there. I did go through the map a time or 2. Redacted. Fixed an issue causing a spawn point not working as intended under certain circumstances. I'm not sure which spawn point it was. I suspect it was back there where you see me go out of bounds into the back room, shoot the guys that are spawning, and then go back out before I get terminated. So maybe they fixed that. Exposure fixed an issue that could cause no vehicles to be shown in the call menu while vehicles were available. I do remember thinking that vehicles should be available, and they were not. Hourglass fixed a rare issue where players could not spawn vehicles. That might have been the same. Kaleidoscope fixed an issue where players could spawn out of bounds when deploying with a vehicle. I don't remember that, but whatever. Battlefield Portal, Squad Spectator, say that fast 10 times. Squad Spectator modifier fixed an issue causing the squad deploy to appear as available when the squad mate is outside the combat area. Spaz 12 could have achieved too high a rate of fire in semi-automatic mode. Fixed several headshot multipliers on 1942 weapons, the Thompson, Sten, STG 44, P38, and M2 carbine. I didn't really like the 1942 whole gameplay. Maybe at some time it'll grow on me, but I didn't like it. Improved reliability and responsiveness when firing the BC-2 mortar. I don't even recall using that, but maybe I have. All right, AI soldiers. Fixed an issue that caused the AI soldiers to not properly switch between gunner seats under certain circumstances. They are dumb. They can help you out, and especially playing single player, they do provide. I'd rather have them than not have them, but they're dumb. They can get stuck in certain circumstances on exposure. I've seen them stuck not only on exposure, but also other maps. They'll just be lying on the floor. They're alive, but they're lying on the floor stuck, and they won't get up and go anywhere. This is from what I've seen. Fixed an issue that caused AI soldiers to become stuck on a capture point at the Battle of the Bulge. I don't recall that, but it's possible. UI and HUD. Stats displayed on the left side of the scoreboard to show inaccurate data. UI elements not correctly spawn after dying, causing players to be stuck in the deploy screen under rare circumstances. I felt like I've gotten stuck in the deploy screen a few times, but basically it's been the respawn timer, I think. Fix an issue where weapon icons would not load properly in the pre-round lobby. Okay, I have seen that, like say I put a grip on the front of a firearm and it's not there. Fix an issue on gadgets where the recon drone could exit map boundaries. Well, I've flown out of bounds before, but then I had to come back in, I think. Vehicles lowered explosion damage of jet anti-vehicle rocket pods to ground armored vehicles by 15%. This change does not affect transport vehicles. Increase the damage air vehicles receive when colliding with certain objects. I like that. Look at that. Increase flare reload time from 12 to 14 seconds. I think that's good. Increase the damage regular bullets deal to light air vehicles. I like that. I even said that earlier. I hadn't read this. I like it. Improved instances of anti-vehicle rocket pods not registering damage to other vehicles. My biggest thing was Liz's rocket. I couldn't see the screen on it. And it might be my computer, it might be my graphics setting, whatever. Increase the time before a vehicle can be hacked again from 10 to 12.5 seconds. I like that. Increase turret sensitivity on all turreted vehicles except the Tor. Alright, the Wildcat, I'm sure they're going to fuck us on this one. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be an improvement. Yes, increase engine's power on low speeds to allow for better acceleration and more power climbing hill. Yeah, it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. Increase the turret HP from 250 to 550, so that's a big one. Remove the 40mm cannon to fully commit this vehicle to anti-air capabilities. I think I like that. Lowered the default cannon range from 700 meters to 550. I don't think I like that. Lowered the delay for turret recovery from 10 to 5 seconds. I think that's good. Lowered the duration of turret recovery from 10 to 8 seconds. I think that is also good. So I don't like that they lowered the cannon range from 700 meters to 550 because it seemed like it was too short to begin with. But maybe I wasn't executing properly. Audio minor sound fixes and hearing a dozer went down and hearing a dozer shield bash an ally. Specialists and gadgets. Vertical spotting distance of the tugs has been decreased, lowered the amount of C5 the assault and recon class can carry from 3 to 2. Really? Wow. Okay. Wow. I guess a lot of people are blowing up ground vehicles with the C5. I've seen it happen. Casper's drone will no longer be able to EMP hack. I don't know how to feel about that. I haven't used Casper's drone in a long time. I did starting out learning the game. Anti-tank mines now take 2 seconds before they activate and detect vehicles. That'd be good for me to get the fuck out of the way so I don't get blown up like I did last week. Incendiary grenades thrown through smoke will no longer be disabled if they haven't yet started burning. Alright. Fix an issue that would make the UI icon for SOFLAM lock-on disappear too early, even while the lock-on was still valid. Okay. The EOD bot can now kill enemies that are using Crawford's mounted Vulcan. Nowhere left to hide. Fixed instances of projectile inaccuracies when using the RPG against fast-moving vehicles. Hopefully it'll be easier now for me to earn the RPG, but it was almost impossible the last time I tried it. Alright, here we go. On weapons. Updated visual recoil on primary AOW weapons. Headshot damage multipliers have been updated. SMGs, assault rifles, and LMGs. SMG went from 1.25 to 1.55. Assault rifle 2.15 is now down to 1.9. The LMG 2 times to 1.9. What's the point? But okay. Increase move speed during aim down sights by 10% for the K30, MP9, P90, and AC9. 5% increase for the PP2000 and PBX. I like this. Improved hip fire accuracy for P90, K30, MP9, AC9, and ACAS-74U. The ACAS-74U was horrible compared to the other ones. I thought it spread shots way too much. To bring dispersion reset when bursting in line with other SMGs, it is now a bit faster for AC9 and P90. Bullet speed increase for AKS-74U, P90, and PP2000. I think that's good. Bullet speed decrease for PP29 by 10%, 520 to 450. Dispersion reduced by 10% for M240, M60, E4, and Type 88. Probably good. M5A3 dispersion has received some changes in the way it's calculated and biased within the dispersion circle. It will result in approximately 10% better accuracy, most noticeably when dispersion is high. When I was sniping with it, it did okay, but I had to put a lot of shots on them. CQC damage reduced for LMGs and ARs from 28-26 to reduce the occurrence of two headshot kills. This affects the SFAR, AK-24, LCMG, RPT-31, M60E4, M240B, AC-42, damn, they got the Ju-46, RM-68, Ju-46, and the ACWR. Damn. Fixed clipping when using a fusion hull sight on the M44. Minor third-person animation fixes when reloading. Iron sights realigned for the MP9, PP2000, M40, PKP, and VHX. Improved location of scope glint for multiple scopes and weapons. I think I read somewhere, maybe I saw it, anything over a 6-power scope, you're going to get a 6-power scope and up, you're going to get a glint. Fix minor issues in collection screen for vault sidearms. When selecting extended mags. Pros and cons of close combat extended mags for G57, oh boy, L9CZ, M93R, and MP433. I wonder what they're going to do with the G57, because that's my go-to sidearm. Fixed an issue where recoil penalty was not active when using NTW's high-power ammunition. Really? Sure felt like it to me. Fix an issue where going into aim-down sights with a T4 thermal scope could affect reload, low ammo, no ammo prompts. Made the firing modes information collection screen more consistent. Fixed instances of clipping in third person on the VHX when using different ammo types. Improved lock-on when a soldier gets in the line of sight. Lock-on will be less affected by it. Fix pros for several suppressors in the collection screen. I think that's good. I think some of these suppressors should be better, especially if you're getting an ammo penalty, a power penalty. Fix an issue where enemy laser sights could cause the screen to turn black when pointed directly towards the player. All right. I think I did have an instance where my screen turned completely black on one video. Fix muzzle flash being present when using suppressors on shotguns and certain ammo combinations. All right, AC-42. It looks like they've done a lot of work on that. Dispersion has been reduced for the first burst, but it has been reset so it doesn't fully reset between bursts when firing at close to maximum RPM. If you've noticed my videos, that's what I do. Even with a full auto weapon, a lot of times I'll fire in a burst so that you can get a reset so your muzzle doesn't climb so much. My muzzle doesn't climb so much. When firing in controlled bursts and compensation for recoil, it will be possible to hit with higher accuracy over long ranges. I think I just said that. I should have read more. It now behaves closer to other burst-firing weapons and should provide a good boost to usability in all ranges. Damage curve tweak, reduced damage from 26 to 25 for 0 to 3 meters for high-power standard issue and subsonic. Standard issue, reduced damage 22 to 20 between 50 and 75. Subsonic damage is increased 18 to 20 between 50 and 75. High power damage increased 18 to 19 for 100 to 149 meters and 15 to 17 for 150 plus meters. G57 damage reduced from 28 to 24. Damn it, between 0 and 30 meters. Close combat and 0 to 20 for subsonic. I didn't like that. The MP28 damage reduced from 28 to 24 between 30 and 74. PF51 hip firing accuracy plus 30%. Aim down sights accuracy minus 15%. Wow. Alright, the M93R hip fires plus 30%. The 12 mil auto, I think that's the shotgun. Tweaks have been made to the shortened barrel attachment when its equipped pellet dispersion will increase by 25% horizontally, reducing its effectiveness at range and one-on-one engagements. Body armor. The body armor gadget will now add extra protection against buckshot and flechette. This effect will only apply when the projectiles hit the torso, not the limbs or the head. I didn't like to equip the body armor. Maybe on Call of Duty I use it all the time. AP ammo base damage on GBT was too low and has been increased. 0. Yeah, it sure as fuck was. I said that from the very beginning when I was using armor piercing. It should be blowing fucking arms and legs off of enemy soldiers. Alright, here we go. 0 to 29 went from 35 to 60. 30 to 49, 28 to 60. And 50 to 150, 28, 150 plus to 35. Correct. It should. Scope glint removed from 4x scope. I don't think anybody was using that ACOG. I didn't see it. I didn't like using it. It's a 4 power. All scopes with magnification 6 and above will still have glint. RPT 31 LS1 laser and Stoner laser beam alignment improved on the VFX. M416 fixed an issue that could cause suppressor to disappear when activating certain underbarrel attachments. Spaz 12 fixed the amount of shells reloaded. Avansis fixed the icon for the T4 thermal attachment. P90 rate of fire in single fire mode was too low and has been fixed. The PP2000 fixed the magazine size shown in the collection screen. Requires Battlefield 2042 sold separately in all game updates. This announcement may change as we listen to community feedback and continue developing and evolving our live service and content. We will always strive to keep our community as informed as possible. Overall, I like it, so I'm going to give it a rate up. So there you have it, ladies and germs. I don't know how long we've been recording, but I'm going to just make this video separate from gameplay. So thank you for watching. I'll get this uploaded.